everyone, welcome back to Great Northwest Weaponry. This is Thomas, and today we're going to be revisiting a topic that we haven't done for a while, but we did a few of these some time ago. We're doing a gun room walkthrough today. So, last one of these that we did was actually a couple of years ago, and I thought that that was kind of going to be the end of the line, that we'd optimized the space. Then I got some new guns and kind of came to the realization that some things needed to change in here. We were out of space for pistols entirely, so modified the pistol wall a bit. And over the course of this video, I'm also going to be pointing out anything that hasn't yet been seen on the channel. And there's actually quite a few things. Got some new bayonets, got some new rifles, got some new pistols. Some of them we've done first shots shorts on. I have actually shot a first shot short for everything that has yet to be seen on the channel, but there are quite a few coming down the pipeline in coming weeks. Over the next couple of months, you guys are going to be seeing a lot of cool new stuff. So let's go ahead and take a look at the modifications. So we're going to start out over on the left here, and you can see the bayonet wall has had to be extended all the way as we have officially filled that space. So there might be a further future modification to make a little more room there, but next to this, where we're keeping the semi-automatic rifles, and my injury has yet to heal, so I'm going to have to kind of hop around to show this, but this left wall here has so far been where we've kept semi-automatic rifles, and I'm looking like we're pretty soon going to have it full of nothing but. We've only got 2 bolt actions still on this wall. Seen a first shots of the M1 carbine here, and then we've got some cool stuff. So I gotta shimmy over here. Kind of takes a bit of limping, but this right here is new. We haven't seen this yet. FN49 first shot short has been shot. The Hakim we've had for a while. The SVT40 we just did a demo of, but then between the two, Jungmann AG42BE. Also shot the short of that. Now the biggest modifications have been to our table, where we have moved all of our holsters at the table, and again got to kind of hop over. And now my shadow is completely impeding our view here. Next to the table, these are all of my original holsters, of which were housed on this doorway here. Now the pistol wall ended there. That was the last row. No pistols were here. And this was just a piece of plywood that was covering what is essentially my liquor cabinet. It's also where I keep holsters and sheaths that don't have anywhere else to go. Now that we've got all the holsters set up, it's just bayonet and knife sheaths. But the pistol wall has been expanded. So now we've got all semi-auto for these full rows, and then when we get to the dividing line where we've got the door, that's where we're keeping revolvers. We've got room for 3 more. And as far as pistols, we've got space for 1 more, but 3 of these don't belong to me. That would be that one, and that one. Those 3 belonging to my buddy Dylan. So, room for 4 more semi-autos, 3 more revolvers. Now let's take a peek at ones that we haven't seen yet. We did the first shots on the Browning High Power. That one we'll be taking a look at relatively soon. But then next to that, got something new. My own Astra. We'd looked at the other 2 that belong to my buddy Dylan, but this right here is an Astra 300 in 380 made for the German Luftwaffe. Now, we also finally shot the full demo of the Nambu Type 94. I'm going to be posting that actually as the next video after this one. Then, let's see, where did I put that? Oh, it's right above that. Ruby, model 1915, World War I, made in Spain for the French. That wraps up new acquisitions. Rifle rack hasn't actually changed. It's filling up. We've only got room for 3 more up high and 3 more down low. But once again, 2 of these belong to my buddy Dylan, that being this last ditch Type 99 here, and then that one right there, that's Spanish Mauser, so the kind of pale stock one right there. And that pretty much encompasses modifications. Let's take a look at this here. I'd mentioned that this had been just a piece of plywood, and now it is a functional door and pistol display. And then, as I mentioned, my goodies within. Actually has hinges now, so big upgrade. And then again, these lower rows for revolvers here. I'd mentioned earlier in the video that got a lot of content coming you guys' way, and I guess now's as good a time as any to kind of go over what some of that's going to look like. So as I'd already mentioned, Nambu Type 94 demo, that is going to be coming 2 weeks from tonight. The video is fully shot and edited, and I'm going to probably follow that up with a day at the range video. That one is not shot as of the recording of this video. By the time of posting of this video, it should be. I'm intending on actually going out and doing that tomorrow or the following day, as we're coming up on rifle deer season here in Oregon, and I want to get that taken care of before the season starts, because once the season starts, I can't really go out in the woods and shoot. I'd mentioned there's some new bayonets. We do have a Belgian bayonet for the Model 89 that I have that we have had some issues with. I also picked up a bayonet for, we would have, by the time of posting this, would have seen I got the bayonet for my my Steyr M95. Also got a bayonet for, moved it over here, the Swiss K11. And then new ones for new guns. I picked up the bayonet for the SVT-40, a bayonet for the M1 carbine, and the Jungmann uses the same bayonet as my Swedish Mauser. So we're going to have some more of the fixed bayonet shorts, and those seem to be some of the favorites on the channel. Historically, they have performed the best. For the most part, the single most viewed short that I've ever posted was the Kar 98K POV. Gonna have POV shorts for any new pistols and rifles, as well as, again, the fixed bayonet shorts for any rifles that are new to having a bayonet in the collection. And I'd mentioned the Swedish Mauser. I'm gonna go ahead, or not Swedish, rather the Belgian Mauser. Now, this thing is my problem child right now. I did a repair video on the stock. I brought it out and attempted to shoot a demo. I got about halfway through the demo when I affixed the bayonet for the finale of the video. The recoil from having the bayonet attached was enough to re-fracture the stock. So I'm going to be doing a more extensive repair on this. A demo will be coming as soon as I can get it done. But right now it's looking like that's going to be a little while down the road. The next gun demo after the Nambu will probably be the M1 carbine, as I'm super excited about that one. I'm going to try to alternate demos between rifle, pistol, and then maybe every so often we'll do a blade demo. I do have, now that I've got the bayonet for this rifle, actually, these bayonets were the ones that were used to be cut down into fighting knives for the Belgians in World War I. And I have one of those fighting knives, so we're going to be doing a demo on that. We'll probably do that either just before or just after the M1 carbine demo. Gonna have more day at the range stuff. Gonna have some versus videos coming in the not too distant future. Now that I've got a substantially larger collection of semi-automatic rifles, we'll probably bring out several of them for a couple of different shoots. Again, probably day at the range videos, probably versus videos. I'd mentioned in the SVT-40 video that I had a gun that I was looking at that would be an interesting one to compare. That would be the Jungmann AG42B. These are actually both the same year. Both of these are 1943 rifles, so I'd kind of like to see which one of them is more effective, at least in my hands. The FN-49 also might be an interesting one to put head-to-head with the Hakim. I just had the most Porky Pig moment. But both of these 8mm Mausers, semi-autos used by the Egyptians in the 50s and early 60s. Again, just lots of cool stuff that I've been picking up and that I'm super excited about. The Ruby is something that I'm excited about. Having my own Astra is something that I'm excited about. The Browning High Power is probably the coolest pistol in the entire pistol collection, aside from maybe my 1911, because I have a really cool 1911. I'd like to get, now that I've got the High Power, just bring the whole pile of pistols that I have that were made, or at least designed by John Moses Browning, because I've got a lot of his best now. I've got the Colt 1903, the 1911, and the High Power, and then also, a little lesser known, the FN Model 1922. So probably do something with that in the not too distant future, but we are not at all stressed for content here. Lots of content coming. I'm going to be doing the last couple of shorts on how to check the firing pin on different bolt mechanisms. I might do some longer form shorts involving bolt action rifles doing full bolt disassembly, because nowadays we can do shorts that are up to 3 minutes long, and most of these bolts I can easily fully take down and fully reassemble in 3 minutes or less. I still, with semi-autos, will be doing the disassembly videos, the shorts with the music overlay, and again, some of these semi-auto rifles will pop up in those. Any of the new pistols will pop up in those. I actually, at the same time as doing the Nambu Type 94 video, I shot the short on doing the disassembly of that. And because the music that I made for the channel is exactly a 1 minute track, that was probably the toughest challenge to get that one to a minute or less. I got it to 59 seconds exactly, and that was me moving as quickly and flawlessly as I can imagine ever doing so, disassembling that pistol. The Type 94 is a really weird one to take apart, and it takes, well, apparently it takes me exactly a minute now, so again, I'm just excited about what we've got coming for you guys in the future, and there's some more cool stuff. I do still have a layaway active on a really cool rifle, and if you watched to this point in the video, I'm going to go ahead and tell you guys what it is, because this is going to be the wrap-up here in a second. I am finally getting myself an M1 Garand, and it is a 1943 Springfield, completely untouched World War II condition. I will never get a better M1 Garand than this. I might actually be dethroning the Gewehr 98 that's always, been up high above the pistol rack for so long. The M1 Garand has been another one of my holy grail guns that I did not think I would ever get one. And if we get 2 more semi-autos, then this wall is full. So if this wall fills up with semi-autos, I'll kick the Gewehr 98 over to the rifle wall and put the M1 Garand as king. So, anyway, let me know if you guys would like to see more of these gun room walkthrough videos in the future. Future modification plans for this space are pretty much running out. As I did say, I think we've optimized this space at this point. There's not a lot more room for me to build anything. If we expand the collection immensely beyond this point, because right now the M1 Garand is kind of the end of the line. There's other guns that I really want, but as far as what is available and on the market, the M1 Garand is the big one. And then, I might pick up an SKS. My friends at the Warfront have a couple of guns that have popped up that aren't currently in my collection I'd like to get, but I don't think we're going to completely fill this space within the next year. The room for 8 more rifles, 4 more semi-auto pistols, and 3 more revolvers. That's more guns than I typically acquire in a year. I got a burst of firearms here recently, and after the M1 Garand, no real plans for any more purchases for a while, but that does leave us again with a lot of content to show going forward for quite a while. So hope you guys are looking forward to seeing said content. Hope you enjoyed this video. It's been Thomas, Great Northwest Weaponry, and I will see you next time.